Hey Rebels. Okay, so Spirit is telling me to tell you this lifetime is all that you need. Whatever has happened has already happened. What is going to happen is up to you. Whether you feel that you believe in reincarnation or you don't. But do understand, reincarnation of cycles is definitely a real thing in this lifetime. So Spirit is saying here with pride and Five of Wands, they need you to look at and invest in, not just something that's perceived as your dark side, that's perceived as your shadow side, but that part of you that you tend to avoid because everything that you need to know about yourself has already been written within this lifetime of a story. They said this lifetime is your tell all. Hear that? This lifetime is your tell all. So you've been definitely either aware of this or you haven't been aware of this. That your pride is getting in the way of your ambitions, of not just what you want to create, who it is that you want to be, but who it is that you honestly are. They're saying, here with this owl, it says, there are other conversations. And when I read that, Spirit said to be had about yourself. So though birds tend to take over the population, no matter where you go, you see birds, right? But this owl of wisdom has so much more to say with you. And then it even has the moon in the background, honey. They said the crown that you let rest upon your head, you have yet to pay attention to the details and the scribings in it. So there were cards that came out, and this is why I already have the first and the bottom cards exposed, because there was cards that came out, but I am not too familiar with this deck nor the illustrations of it. And I just decided, hey, well, I didn't just decide. Spirit said this is what we're doing, so this is what we're doing. But here with the Knight of Pentacles, there, confirmation with the belly. There is hard work that you have been applying, but yet and still there is also stubbornness of what it is that you need to shine a light on in regards to yourself, in regards to your forward movement, in regards to where it is that your confidence actually stems from. Where is it that your enthusiasm actually stems from? Your confidence, your inspirations. It said you have clouded clarity, and this is not a punch at you. They want you to remove these clouds from your sight, and so you can see yourself within your own reflections clearly. There are parts of you that you are afraid of, acknowledging that you have been. There are parts of you that you are afraid of having the awareness that you need to use. So, but regardless, Spirit is saying at this moment, you definitely do have fertile grounds, fertile soil. There is something so abundant about you that you can handle this. You can handle it because whatever comes from this reflecting on yourself, it's going to bring up some harsh things. But who is meant to know you better than yourself? And in getting to know yourself, in acknowledging yourself, in having that awareness of yourself, it's going to ignite a passion. It's going to ignite not a piss-offtivity of you, but it's going to ignite a passion of you to remove yourself further from the circumstances that you have not been feeling like yourself in. Now let's go ahead and look at these cards that fell out because I did not look. Okay, so you have the King of Cups. You have the Queen of Wands, the Knight of Swords, but then you also have the Three of Pentacles. Now with this King of Cups, what I am getting, I'm noticing how he's pouring the water, and it seemed like it might be a hose back that way because this water seems ever flowing. This King of Cups is really pouring the wisdom of his emotional standards back into himself. And where is himself? This Knight of Pentacles, this Ace of Wands, the focus on the creativity of not just your product, but yourself. Who it is that you are presenting yourself to be today, that you were not yesterday, and that you refuse to be tomorrow. your emotional standings. Now, I oftentimes look at the nights as like teenage years on into like early 20s, maybe even push it a little bit and go early 30s. But with the pentacles and the sword as knights here, Spirit, we getting this message again of giving it your all, giving it your best, knowing when to pull back, rest, and evaluate, but knowing when to continue on with that conversation and communication with yourself. Because you're going to realize that there was so much sass about you that it's going to help you understand why other people see you as the villain in their story. The audacity of you. Oh, I heard begrudgingly. However that resonate for you. And it's like, I'm seeing that this King of Cups is looking down here at this Queen and saying that there's plenty that you've been avoiding, paying attention to yourself. You may even deem yourself to be a good person, but even a good person is a villain in other people's stories. And Spirit said it's time to get honest with yourself and real about yourself. That you are not all nice, but you are actually sugar and spice. What do in portions, microdosing even can be a good thing for you, but it can also be a good thing to the others who say that you may not be a very approachable person, because you trigger others to have to look at themselves. Now, whether they choose to or not, it's up to them. But Spirit said this is not about them, this is about you. And though we implemented them into this storyline, that has a lot to do with you. So Spirit is saying here once again with this King of Cups, you have to respect the counsel of yourself and why things are coming up. That things are going to get rough. That things are not always going to be peaceful. They want you to not fight through this, but to understand the purpose and the reason why you're in this situation and these state of minds when they do come up. Not to say that you are in it now, but to say when it does come up, they need you to accept the life changings and the paths that these communications with yourself and reflections of yourself will take you down. How it's going to take you down, how it's going to pull you down, how it's going to break you down, and how it's going to be able to rebuild you back up. Interesting. Now, let me tell you, when I'm reading these cards, I tend to be channeling a lot, and then I look down at the table, I'm like, oh, it's right there. I could have easily just looked down at the table and said, okay, well, this says this and this says that. But the fact that Spirit allows me to channel and then look down is confirmation. They want you to realize what you are building and realize what really ignites your passion. Is for somebody here, you definitely have been having a struggle with what is your passion. And in order to meet your passion, you have to understand what are your refusals, what are your non-negotiables. And some of those non-negotiables you may need to go back over, because there have been things that you said that you don't want, but in the next instant you realize that you adapt to. So you need to form yourself and work on boundary settings with yourself. Why are we grabbing here? We got to cloudy judgment and the influences. Yeah, exactly what I was just speaking on. You need to go back and you need to re-look at your boundaries and your non-negotiables and your self-settings. Gibber, what, baby? Ancestors coming through today. They definitely are coming through today. Let's go ahead and adjust that some. Ancestors said you need all parts of you in order for things to work. And you need to understand all parts of you. It's not necessarily that other people need to understand it. In regards to you hearing that, oh, you will find your community. You belong to many communities. And there are communities that you need to let go of because you no longer belong to those communities. But because they are familiar to you, you keep on showing yourself up in those behaviors, in those ways of thinking, in those likenesses of your appearances, your approach. So communities isn't just about the people who you surround yourself. It's about the people who you attract. It's about the experiences that you attract. Spirit said, get excited. Get excited to have this, this revealing of what the tough conversations are going to be for you. And then it says, okay, fairy of the divine hand, intoxication, distorted view, and overindulgence. They said, grab one more from over there. Okay. And it says, hidden in plain sight, baby. The way you're making me feel. Spirit said that it should not be a fear for you to have these engagements of yourself come to surface. If anything, it should turn you on to say, oh, that's what we're looking at. Oh, that's what we're going to be researching and trying and coming to an understanding about ourselves with. Oh, that's where that comes from. It shall not depress you, though there may be a point in time of mourning how it is that you saw yourself, that you were not being realistic about. So they say, yeah, let it be a turn on, baby. And it says death. Okay. It says death. It says, I am learning that endings are merely beginnings. I love the word merely. Endings are merely beginnings. So the identity that you felt that you had, I've always been this way. Like, for instance, there is something that I be saying during reads. Oh, what is the word, Spirit? What is the word? When I hold on, give me a moment. Okay, I can't figure out the word right now. But it's something along the lines of like, oh, this is interesting, this is mysterious, like something along the lines of there. But those aren't the actual words. And when I'm doing my reads, I lay it down, and then Spirit, like, why is it interesting? Why is it mysterious? We're giving you the proof right here. Even when things take a transition or it takes a turn, right, for the unexpected, it's something like a mysterious word that I be using, right? Spirit is saying that it is something of that sort even for you. Why is it mysterious? Why is it something that seems to be out of the norm? When you are evaluating yourself, when you are being presented with yourself due to the evaluations that's been had. So have these conversations and stop battling with yourself. Spirit is overall saying, stop battling with yourself. You are so prideful, even though you may not feel yourself to be prideful, but you are prideful in this space of avoiding seeing yourself in the light and in the shadow spaces that you have, shared with others. So even if someone says, oh, well, I'm not that way, but to you, they have been that way. So Spirit said, watch your pride. Watch your pride. I need 3 of Cups, baby. Listen. Give me a moment. I'm getting it in. I'm going in. How did that song go? I'm going in. I don't know. Right now in the moment, they said the rest of that don't matter unless you get it. Because if you get it, get it good. But what Spirit is giving me here with this 3 of Cups, before they even have me grab for the other ones, it's about your societal impact. It's about, even though you may not present yourself to give a damn, you give a damn. Because why else would you be so defensive? Why else would you feel as if you need to explain some stuff that, like they said, what's already known need not be said? But however you've been approaching things, you feel like it's due justice for explanation. Say, live life how you choose to, but do know that they watching you. But they're saying that it's time for you to move on from that aspect. There's something about your ego that won't allow you to disregard, or hasn't yet to allow you to disregard those combative arguments when people are misspeaking on your integrity and misspeaking on your name. Spirit said it's a wound in there that needs to be healed, but it can only be healed by you. Having other people come in to give their inputs on why, or allowing their selves to be seen in the form of admittance, it's not going to help. Because just as you have went back on your words about what it is that you don't want, and then in the next moment you find yourself doing exactly or being engaged in something that you don't want, others easily do the same thing. And then it says, a twist in the tale, the unexpected, a change you did not see coming. Honey, and the ferret right there too. There's thoughts about yourself that you, once again, you have been avoiding, allowing yourself to peel back layers further. Just like how with a ferret, they with their slinky bodies, they could crawl through many different spaces. If that's a ferret, if that's a weasel, both are part of the same family. They crawl through so many different spaces, and they move so swiftly. So Spirit is saying that these things, these thoughts, they've revealed themselves, but you just haven't held on to that thought long enough. You allow it to dissipate so easily. And they said, next time any of these things come up, don't let it go so easily. Do a deep dive. They said, allow the branches. Because there was something else, right, with this card back here. There's two birds fighting over twigs, and I noticed that it's a whole nest back here. There are so many twigs on these branches. And Spirit is ultimately saying, what is the fight and the resistance about for you? Why are you fighting to resist? Looking at these things. Especially since the Spirit has been telling you and showing you that once you deal with these things, you can proceed forward without the contradiction of yourself. Damn. Okay. But there are other conversations to be had. What is this other conversation? Okay, yep. Your obsessions. They said, get one more. And they said, when these messages come up, honey, you're going to have a pale moment. It's going to be like everything just flushed out of your body. Like, wait, whoa. Why ain't I looked at this before? Why didn't I allow myself to? And you know the answer to that. So don't spend so much time on that. But you may need to spend a little bit of time on that. They say work towards the resolve. Don't stay in the conflict. The beginnings. The obsession about your new beginnings. The third one. And the beauty of it. So you want your new beginnings to look beautiful and a pretty painted picture. They said that your life ain't been pretty. What makes it beautiful is the fact that you're able to peel all of this back to actually see the fruits of your labor. Remember, in the middle of each flower, there's pollen, there's nutrients, there's so much that pollen does. I mean, hell, and it causes allergies for some. So Spirit said, quit trying to paint this beautiful picture of yourself. The beauty is on the other side of all the misery. But you got to get through the misery in order to be able to see the beauty of it. Okay, so we're being drawn back here, and it says, Snow White and her animal friends. You inspire trust and confidence. Well, yeah, you inspire trust and confidence. So inspire yourself. Inspire yourself. You inspire other people. There are things about you that other people will notice that you don't even notice about yourself, and how you inspire them. And a lot of it has to do with your hard times. But that's what you refuse to look at as your own hard times. But they love you. They pay attention to you. They are inspired by you due to the hard times that they have witnessed you go through. But yet you have been avoiding actually paying attention to the hard times that you've been going through. I am seeing the 6 of Swords. Also saying, accept the lessons. And so you can move the fuck on. What is this? And then it says, a shining life is about to appear. Rebel, on that note, Spirit is saying I need to get y'all up out of here. Okay, so, ooh, babe, shit. Okay, let me get the card they told me to get. Honey, you in labor. Honey, I don't care if you're a man. I don't care if you ain't got kids. I don't care. You are in labor. Baby, let's go ahead. You got the tower right here. Okay, the tower. Your tree house, the playhouse, the tree house was built on a cliff, as if you thought that that was gonna last. Some part of you thought that, it would continue to last. Like, no, I could stay there a little while longer. I could reside there a little while longer. It's not over the cliff. They say you ain't got to wait for it to go over the cliff, honey, because you're going to fall from it. Okay, natural disasters are going to happen for you to have to deal with this. And that baby right here, it says denial. It says this guides encourage, the guides encourage you to bravely acknowledge the true issue that exists in your relationship with yourself. It might be tough, but without this step, those shadows will never have a chance to fucking heal. It don't say fucking heal, but I got a chance to ad lib. Why not? So then this one says, find ways to fill your cup. Okay? Be self-full. Follow your heart and allow trust. Follow your heart and always trust your intuition. So allow yourself to trust your intuition. Quit pushing it like, oh, that's Satan, that's the devil. No, it might be, but yet still, you still need to look at it. Because if Satan, if the devil, it has such easy access to you to even drop those seeds in your head, what is happening in your life that is making it so easy to drop those seeds in your head? What is happening with you that makes that thought so easily accessible to you to say that that's Satan? What is going on with you? Okay, and it says, go deep within. Find your triggers, yes, and address them one by one. Self-healing is the best healing. Only then can you offer the best version of yourself. Rebels, I love you and I adore you, but I'm about to get your ass on up out of here. And then you get 555 with change. And it's, decisions. You know what? One of the ways that I learned how to take more self-awareing accountability for myself is whenever I made a choice that I knew was something that contradicted what I wanted, or whenever I made a choice that I knew that I did not want to stay in, I literally at times looked at myself in the mirror and said, decision. Or I said out loud to myself, decision. I did have those talks with myself while I was making those decisions, whether it was the fear of or whether it was the codependency of. I simply said decision. And so I could hear myself say that I am hurting myself. So I can hear myself, and so I can also see myself. I am making this decision. No one is making me make this decision. Even in times where it was about good things. So whether it was good or bad, I said decision. And that way I took the fault off of other people. But I, as an adult, said that this is a decision I'm making. And the fact that I'm saying just the word decision, it's going to make me look at myself and ask myself, why am I doing this? Why do I feel like this is necessary? Even if I didn't have a reason, there is always a why. So with that, it said, with the decision card, we have 555, change. And it says encouragement, support, obstacles, battles, calling, reconstructing, creative work, confirmation. It says you are going to level up, exclamation mark, exclamation point. It might not feel good initially, but it will prepare you to handle the greater things in life for your highest good. That is the why. And I say it's the wise, baby, with decision. That is the why you've been looking for. Push through it. There's a reward waiting at the finish line. So no matter how ugly some of these things may come up to be to you, you have to see yourself that way. And you can't live a life of facade. And living a life of facade, you already see how that work out for other people. They get called out. They get shown for what they actually are. They get defensive because it's embarrassing. Do you really want that to be you? Do you? Honey, rebels, give me space. It says, give me space. Time apart, boundaries, no contrast. So you are really needing to start all over in your evaluation of yourself. What the fuck? What do you stand for? People like to say, well, the whole world don't revolve around you. Well, technically, the world does revolve around you. It revolves around your choices, and that's the world that you create for yourself. So, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? Okay, so the shit. Okay, they said grab this one, grab this one, and grab this one. Okay, so here with which they said read these cards first, and then we are gonna show the card that is being talked about. So keep this in mind. Harmony. I open myself up to divine beings within me. I open myself up to the divine beings within me. I am the imagination. I am the image. Ooh, let me start that over. I'm excited. I open myself to the divine being within me. I am the image of God. Thus, I have the power to bring light into my life. I turn any darkness in me into something beautiful. In the absence of resentment, anger, or doubt, I find harmony. Next card, Archangel Gabriel. It says, it is time for you to assume your leadership power and position and lovingly guide others. And look at that, baby, with the card of withdrawal. So, rebels, I love you and I adore you. But I'm going to respectably let you go on and live about your day. I ain't even going to let you. You just going to do it because that's what you choose. I don't let you do anything. You do what you decide to do. Notice how I did that for you, right? There are so many people who say that they let you do this, that they let you. True enough, no one can do what they don't allow you to do. No one can let you do what they don't allow you to do. You can say that in so many different ways, but I cannot let you go on and live your life. You demand that. You demand that space. You give yourself permission. So give yourself permission and do understand all decisions are yours. They say, look under this Ace of Pentacles. Baby, all decisions are yours. You are your own authority. And any fault or blame that you push off on other people, you're choosing to do that. And you're choosing to avoid your responsibility of yourself, and you're making yourself someone else's responsibility. Your heartache, your pain even. Right? Listen. Okay. So they say this one and this one. Oh, and this one. Okay. All right, and this one. Okay. Oh, quiet time. Take some quiet time alone to rest, meditate, and contemplate. Talk to the moon with communication. So that means the illusions, the things that have yet to be revealed about you, the things that you have been avoiding of. Talk to the moon. Talk to the moon about it. It's like talk to the hand. Ain't nobody else got time for it. It's not anybody else's problem. Remember that, talk to the hand. It's on you. Everything about you is your responsibility. How you even say other people make you feel is your responsibility. And then you have positivity, faith, and optimism. You open the doors to position. You open the doorway to positive experiences and opportunities with your positive expectations and energy. Do not allow negativity or temporary setbacks to interfere with the path that you are on. Keep your faith and keep moving. So what that is telling me is everything that you deem to be negative is actually a positive. What makes it negative is you giving it the energy that it is completely negative. Now, it can be perceived as negative, but you have to make it a positive. You have to see the beauty in it. So don't avoid looking at your shadow, your dark side, your complexities. Don't avoid looking at that, because even in your external world, your complexities are simply hurdles that you got to get over. Rebels, I love and I adore you, but Spirit is saying, oh, baby. Okay, and they said this too. Only you with the Seven of Swords. You're stealing from yourself. you avoiding dealing with these aspects of you. Ain't nobody stealing from you but yourself. Rebels, love, and I adore you. Love you. I definitely do. I definitely do. Do better at respecting yourself. So until next time, go live your life. Go make it do what it needs to do for you, boo. Go Rebels.